So Claire, you uploaded a poem called "The Voice of the Seasons" to BBC Upload. So who are you? What do you do? Because I gather poetry, acting, it's kind of all in your DNA.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Lockdown has just turned me into a bit of a poet and writer. I think because normally I'm an actor, so I go out and about looking for different freelancing work. And just with all the lockdown we've had in this year, I've decided to try a bit more my hand at doing some writing. Look, with some friends of mine have been very supportive of just saying, yeah, get some pen and paper together and just get your work out there and see what happens. So that's what I've been doing for my time in lockdown, and it's been wonderful taking part in various online festivals for my poetry and just be able to perform it as well in monologues. So it's been terrific in that sense, for being able to have a bit of time to write and be a bit more creative, to add a bit of extra string to my bow.
I love that because naturally, like everything, I suppose the acting community, along with a lot of the arts, have suffered somewhat over the last couple of months, whether it be auditions, trying to get work, productions closing down, and so forth. So finding another avenue, I think, is really, really important. And something about writing. I mean, how do you go about it? Do you write because it helps you feel a certain way, or do you just write how you feel? What's your kind of process?
Yeah, I find particularly it was interesting with the lockdown, and it was a new feeling, a new sensation that everybody's experiencing as well. It really puts you in a whole different routine. It's taken away that kind of contact from people. So I felt that I was going to write a monologue. Originally, it was going to be a monologue that I was going to write just to a bit of my experience of what it could be like. And then I just start to play around with it and think, how could I give that a bit of a voice as a character? And where else could I take it? As part of me just feeling this particular internal monologue, could there be a bit more of a storyline to it? So I did one called Living Ghost, where originally I wanted to do a bit of a comedy about, can you imagine being in lockdown with a poltergeist? What would you do? It was a bit of a bit of a comedy with that, but it kind of naturally then started to turn more about the haunting effect you might feel if you're in lockdown, with this whole isolation feeling, where you can't touch people, you can't interact, you have to keep a distance. We're very sociable naturally as people. So with that kind of being cut off, what kind of effect does it have on you? And it just became a very like monologue poem that was a bit more of a bit of a haunting sort of ghost story that it went into. So it naturally became that. So I do start off with probably putting myself internally into a situation or a feeling. What can I see? What can I sense? What can I feel? Or what does the environment look like? And then build on it a little bit more. Where does the character come from? And then I start thinking about where could this fit? Could it be a ghost story, or could it be a bit more of a love story or something like this? And so this is where I did the voice of the seasons. Then became quite good. I thought about if the seasons itself had a voice, what would it say? How would it watch us as the seasons change and how our behaviours change? What would the voice of the seasons say? So I kind of went into personification with it and just used words of what I could, if I was that particular character as the voice of the seasons, how would I describe the changes? How would I describe how people behave then? And you find it's also quite therapeutic. It is a bit of a well-being thing. You suddenly just get engrossed with this, like a new world that you're creating, a new character that you're creating. And before you know it, there's 5 hours have gone by, and you've managed to escape, and you've escaped the news, which is always a good thing. So yeah, and that's been a lovely kind of escapism, really. The writing's been a good way for that. And when you've got something on paper, then you think, ooh, I might be able to take this a little bit further. It might become, turn it into maybe a play. Who knows?
Who knows? Hey, that's absolutely fascinating. Thank you for sharing that with everyone this evening, Claire. Right, it is BBC Upload time. Thank you for coming on for a quick chat. And now it's time. I'd like for you to introduce your poem, and then I'll hit play.
Excellent. Thank you, Aaron. This is The Voice of the Seasons by me, Claire Finn.
You cannot see me, but you know I am there. For you can smell the changes I make in the autumn air. I watch you breathe in the crisp, cool mist that has followed my path in the changing leaves to golden yellows, auburn and blood red, decorating your lands like pieces of rustic crunchy glitter. You pick the pumpkins from the fields and allow them to glow with sinister smiles in your windows. I bring the white frosted snow dusted upon your homes. Water crystals hang from the bare tree branches, revealing the chandeliers of the forest. I watch as some of you delight in the fluffy, cold Play-Doh, like children soulfully laughing and playing together uninhibited. Others, however, are entrapped by its sharp freeze, as though my snow has landed within them, revealing the truth in their eyes of being lost, alone, and unwanted. I defrost away the sorrow of old and into the new light of spring, the birth of many a newborn awakening for the first time. I see you in awe of the beginning of a life as you stand on the ground where life is forming beneath your feet. Roots of the earth grow and feed the buds of many a flower beginning to bloom. I have watched you place your hands into the rich soils to feed the food you will enjoy of the season. I now make the days longer and warmer, allowing you to spend time together outside in the summer sun. Eyes connecting, hands embracing, hearts are racing, seeking the love that needs awakening. The roses that bloom the brightest are those most tended to by the love given. Floral smells attract the bees to enable the cycle of this life endured.
That was Claire Finn with her poem Voice of the Seasons. If you'd like to be featured on BBC Upload, really simple, head to bbc.co.uk/upload, upload whatever.